Welcome to The Wunderli Show.
The Wunderli Show.
Real Estate and Finance Hour, part of the Real Estate Radio Network. Now, let's bring on the host. Here is Jed Wunderli.
With me in the studio today, I have Todd Volf, who's a general contractor. We've done a number of projects together with the FHA 203K, which we've talked about in previous shows with other realtors. That is the renovation loan. We also use the home style renovation loan, but he has done some excellent jobs for all of our clients.
Thanks, Jed. Thanks for having me. First of all, I just want to give a little bit of background about myself. I came to Las Vegas in 2004, worked for a home builder here for about 6 or 7 years, and then started New Freedom Properties in 2009. So we've been doing specifically remodels for about 5 years now.
We're going to talk with Todd about renovation, home renovation, and what you can do, whether you're buying or you already live in the home, to really kind of dial that home in and make it yours. There's a lot of homes out there, especially if you're like in the market to purchase right now, that may need a little TLC. So a lot of these homes that were either being short sold or were foreclosed would have probably some deferred maintenance. The owners hadn't had the money to put into their home, and why would they, even if they had the money, because they know that they're going to be selling it or losing their home. And so these homes might need some new flooring, some paint, and a variety of other things, but it might be the home that's in the perfect location, the perfect size, the perfect floor plan. And so what do? You got this home that, is not what you were looking for, other than the fact that it's in the right spot. Todd comes along, and Todd can help you with what to do. Todd, why don't you share some of those success stories of what you've been able to do for clients?
Yeah, Jed, well, thanks for having me. First of all, as New Freedom Properties, a general contractor here in town, we will do remodels for anybody, but we are especially passionate about these rehab loans. I came to you, Jed, about 4 or 5 years ago, and we just saw an opportunity for a great product for people to help them out to get into these homes that need some work, and to do it essentially with no money out of pocket by rolling that into their primary mortgage. And I think a lot of things that people need to consider about this: it's not a second loan, it's not a home equity line of credit, it is your one and only loan, and the repairs are just rolled right into that, whether it be an FHA or conventional type loan. And so we've had great success over the past 4 years doing this loan. We've scaled our business to be specially set up for this loan with a specific design center where we can get our clients in and have them pick out all the materials, because this process is something that has to move relatively quickly if you are a buyer out there. And also, if you are in your home currently and you just want to refinance and get some repairs done without putting them on your credit card, which might charge you 12, 15, 18%, you can roll that right into a refinance mortgage with great interest rates right now. So it's a great program, and there's a lot of things you can do, and there are maximums that you can put into the home, and it does depend a little bit on appraisals and things of that nature, but we've had great success so far getting people what they want for the price they need it to be at. So
Todd, you mentioned that whether or not they're a buyer or they already own their own home, they can use the FHA 203K or the Fannie Mae home style renovation loan to make some renovations and really kind of dial it in. And I think that you make an excellent point that how many times do we? There's a couple of things that come into play. So I think sometimes we go into Home Depot. We say, I look at my house, it just needs some paint. That's no big deal, And so you go into Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever store you get your paint from, and you buy your paint, and then you come home and you're like, man, my furniture's in my way. Oh, heavens, now I got to move all the furniture out of the way and hope I don't spill on the carpet. Oh, crud, I spilled on the carpet. And so now, the carpet kind of needed replacing anyway, but your furniture's in the way. So really the best time to do it is when you're buying a home before you've moved in. That's one thing. The other thing is that as we take on these projects kind of one little part at a time, I think we have the tendency to think, we can finance these things ourselves, and before we know it, we're kind of in over our head. We got a lot of credit card debt racked up, which one isn't tax deductible, and as you mentioned, Todd, it's typically quite a bit higher interest rate than the either one of these mortgages that we've talked about. So that's one of the things that I really like about Todd, is that he's concerned about the homeowner's bottom line. and trying to help them manage their debt better and not overbuild for the neighborhood. You want to talk a little bit about that, Todd?
Yeah, Jed, that's correct. I mean, we kind of know what spec levels that people need to be doing their improvements within, and there's always a budget, and we know everyone has a budget, so we do our best to help you with material selections and types of product to keep you within that budget and to not over improve. I mean, the bottom line is this is just a great program for home buyers out there right now. We hear a lot of complaints from realtors and even buyers themselves that are frustrated with the process of finding that perfect house because either the carpet's not right or it's got the outdated tile countertops, and it's just not something people are willing to put.
Or might I say yellow oak cabinets?
Oak cabinets, right, that 1980s house that...
Do you ever come across homes where dogs have peed on the carpet
man,
holes in the walls or anything like that?
We've seen some pretty interesting stuff out there, and it's just amazing the way that some people have lived in the past, or I shouldn't say that, but vandals might be the case in a lot of times. And so, it's really just that opportunity as a home buyer to maybe get an advantage over the other people who are putting offers in or multiple offers on these properties, where if they can see beyond, the parts of the house that aren't good and kind of maybe go to our website and look at some before and after pictures and visualize what that house could be as a home for them, they're going to be able to find a great deal, put in the proper repairs to make it their house. And I think people right now, Jed, are looking for that more long-term investment in a home. We've gone through the bubble where people bought it, thought they'd hold it for 3 to 5 years and maybe have got burned. I think people are ready to settle down to find a house that they can call home and make it their way. And again, this is just a great product for doing that.
And Todd, excellent point. I just want to remind our listeners that you're listening to the Wunderli Show, Real Estate and Finance Hour on KLAV 1230 AM, the talk of Las Vegas. And I'm your host, Jed Wunderli. And we're spending a little time with Todd right now talking about, the ability to really kind of have that home the way you want it. Because I know that there's a lot of times, Todd, you made a great point about people who are out there looking for that home, and they're just really frustrated with all of the homes that they've looked at, and they can't find the one that's just gorgeous on the inside. Maybe it's their asking price is too much, or the one that's just perfect for them isn't in the area they need it to be as far as schools or employment or whatever. And so I feel like, if you're willing to look at a home that needs a little TLC, you're able to go ahead and maybe negotiate the price a little bit better as the buyer and have less competition for that home, because not everybody's willing to, go through this process, which isn't very bad. It's not tough at all once you know the right people, and Todd is the right people, and I can guarantee you that. But to be able to find that home, and here's one thing that I've found a lot of people in their home buying, because I deal with people that buy turnkey and they move in and they're happy. But then I've also dealt with, you and I have had a number of clients who bought homes that were just, scary, like you mentioned a little earlier.
Correct.
But now you go in with them, they get that new home feel because you bring them into the design center, which I think is such a great idea. And you get that. And they have this awesome feeling like, man, I'm buying a new home, because it is a new home almost by the time you're done with it. And they seem to me so much happier than the people that settled for the turnkey option. What do you think?
It's interesting you bring that up as far as the new home feel, because keep in mind my background is with the new home builder. So my company has modeled our processes off of what you would find if you go to a new home builder. Essentially, you are going into a design center and picking out your flooring, your paint, your countertops, whereas that's similar to a new home builder, cabinetry, if you have the budget. And it's modeled just like a home builder, where if you went in to buy a spec house and it was at drywall stage, where you could pick out your finishes. And that's essentially what this program allows you to do, except we call it you're using a pre-owned home to make that happen.
No, I was just going to say I love that, because a lot of the trouble that people got into financially when the real estate bubble burst is that they overbought their home. So this gives them a chance to buy a existing home that they can, refurbish rather than overextend. So
Correct.
that's great. Do they
And
have to have the equity, or you said it depends on kind of the appraisal?
Depends a little bit
value
on appraisal,
above
but usually on these properties, you're getting a little bit better deal. And you can also finance 110% of the value after appraised or repaired value. So there are some things that make this program work. And to this day, Jed and I have not had a deal that has not worked based on finances, because we know the budget that you can put in. We help people when they make the offer so we can get everything right. And so to speak to that, not overextending yourself, I believe in having a kind of like a 6-month emergency fund, in our back pocket. So with this program, even if you have $20,000, $30,000 in cash and you buy a house and you need that money for remodels, well, this allows you to keep that as your emergency fund and put
Right.
this right into your home loan at a 4 or 5% interest rate, whatever the current rates might be going, and really help make your financial security a little better off. So,
Yeah,
That's
and I'll just reiterate that Todd did come from the background of a very fine builder and learned a lot of great stuff while he was a construction manager with them, and the quality of work that he's done, I can speak to personally from my own house where he's done work, as well as being able to share in the joy of all the people who have taken advantage of this great program. And I'll tell you what, these people really feel like it's their home. It's not somebody else's home that they've bought. And so it's just a fantastic thing. And I would encourage you that if you want to even explore the idea of remodeling your current home, or if you're looking at buying and you want another option than just going and buying a turnkey property, I would encourage you to text me at 702-812-1214. That's 702-812-1214, and put in contractor. And I'll make sure that you and Todd can get a hold of each other and talk about your options. And you're listening to The Wunderli Show, Real Estate and Finance Hour on KLAV 1230 AM, the talk of Las Vegas.